So an organization called the Forum for Institutions Supporting Democracy is calling for transparency in the distribution and handling of the KZN disaster relief funds. The forum, which is made up of independent constitutional bodies, has called on government to ensure that fraud and corruption do not happen in the process of disaster relief. Its chair and public protector, Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, joins us now via our video link to tell us more. Advocate Mkhwebane, it's great to have you with us on the program. I mean, it's a realistic step to take, isn't it? But it's also incredibly disheartening to think that our first step in response to a disaster is to appeal to our government officials not to be corrupt in the disbursement of disaster management funds.
Yes, it's disheartening indeed, and hence we have these constitutional institutions. Good morning to you and your listeners and viewers. And indeed, we are here to support and strengthen constitutional democracy. Therefore, we felt that we should also then come together, make sure that we assist and we monitor the utilization of state resources, because that's our constitutional mandate.
So it's made up of independent constitutional bodies. The Public Protector is obviously one part of this forum. What are the other organizations?
We have Chapter 9 institutions like the Public Protector, the Human Rights Commission, the Auditor General, the Gender Commission, the IEC, and ICASA. Then we have Chapter 10 institution, the Public Service Commission. Then we have the Chapter 18 of the Constitution, which is the Financial and Fiscal Commission. So all of us, we met yesterday, and in fact, even the Commission for Religious and Commission for Religious and Linguistics Affairs, but we also have PENSALP there, because all of us have a role to play. All of us have our mandates, which are there to supplement and complement each other in making sure that there's delivery of services. As you would realize that there's humanitarian needs which are there, issues of shelter, issues of access to all the basic human rights, and the Human Rights Commission is there to monitor that. The Gender Commission should be monitoring the services which are provided to all the women, children, and even the vulnerable men, old men, and women, but even all human beings, because their rights have also been violated. And then the IEC was also very critical, because they indicated that there are bylaws which were supposed to take place. They will have to also take their processes to make sure that those are postponed whilst this is being dealt with. As the Public Protector, we are looking into avoiding of service delivery delays, and secondly also to curb or also make sure that there's no abuse of state resources, and there's no maladministration in the process, issues of transparency and accountability. The Auditor General as well, in fact, they've been mentioned. They are also dealing with the provincial government and the national government also very closely to monitor the issues relating to auditing whilst there is procurement, and you've seen the procurements relating to infrastructure, which has been destroyed, schools, roads, bridges. So they will be there to assist, and if they pick up anything to investigate, then they will refer either to the Public Protector or to the other law enforcement agencies. Therefore, we have this. The Human Rights Commission has established already, they have a plan, a monitoring plan, which they have developed. As the Public Protector, I visited the various areas. I was on the ground since Friday, the Good Friday, up until yesterday. So my team also will be meeting. In fact, what we agreed is that we will have a NEP center where all of us will be feeding. From my side, we've collected a lot of information from the relevant structures on the ground. And then what we will be doing, we will be monitoring that if they say 14,000 houses needs to be replaced or needs to be.
All right, that's a shame. We just lost our connection to Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, the Public Protector there, talking to us about this forum of various Chapter 9 and Chapter 10 constitutional organizations that have been set up. They met yesterday virtually. They've now been set up to monitor particularly the disbursement of funds insofar as relief efforts in KwaZulu-Natal is concerned. Advocate, apologies for that. We lost you for just a moment there. But actually, the last point you were making about the practical steps that will be taken to ensure that there is no corruption, to ensure that constitutional principles are upheld. When it comes to spending the money that's been set aside for various relief efforts, whether that's housing, fixing hospitals, etc., will it be a case of the Auditor General, for example, keeping a close watch on how much money is coming in, what the need is, and ensuring that that money goes where it needs to be?
Definitely, because the Auditor General will be part of the process guiding with the provincial, they've got also a provincial AG office there. There's also provincial treasury, which will also be involved. And there it's making sure that the procurement takes place within the relevant prescripts. And if there's deviations to the processes, there is compliance to what the Public Finance Management Act requires or the Municipal Management Act requires. And remember, every service provider which will be utilized, they should make sure that those service providers are on their database, they are also compliant to what the law requires, because we don't want ourselves again, after the fact, we are now investigating whether the company appointed was compliant, whether the construction which has been done is up to standard. Because within Treasury also, and it's good now, it's national disaster which has been declared, they will also have to make sure that there's also whatever is contract, there's value for money which is taking place. So that will be an issue which, as constitutional institution, make sure that there should be that strengthening and support, because if the public have lost trust in government, therefore, and we have this constitutional institution, we should be there to complement, we should be there to make sure that there's transparency, there's also an issue of accountability, but also we need to make sure that the delivery of services to the impacted and the affected, because as public protector, we don't want a situation where we'll receive complaints that we never received our IDs on time, our birth certificates, we also still don't have a house or that temporary shelter we've been promised, we still don't receive any services from government after the disaster. So that's our proactive measures which we've taken.
Yeah, an incredibly important job, this one. Let's hope that it does make the kind of difference that it's setting out to make. Advocate Busisiwe Mkhwebane, the Public Protector, let me thank you for your time this morning.